In verse 41, Jesus says, "The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and those who practice lawlessness, and will cast them into the furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears to hear, let him hear." That's the same thing as saying, "Did you hear what I said?" That's what Jesus is saying. I believe when Jesus speaks that we should all listen up. Amen?
Amen.
In fact, there's some Bibles that come out that it's just the words in red. Everything that he said, so that you can see the progression and how he reacts on everything that was spoken in the Bible that he said. You see, the home for those who have placed their future in the hands of Jesus will be utterly amazing. But more important than the home for each of us that make the trip is the joy that we as believers will experience as we spend all of eternity in the presence of an almighty, loving, and just God. This is not a reward that true Christians have earned by their obedience. Brother Mike, I thought we had to obey. You do, but you didn't earn the reward. But it is the future that true Christians have chosen through their obedience. It's not just what you believe, it's what you believe and act upon. They say, old saying, action speaks louder than words. You can say you love me, but show me. When you show me, there's the evidence. Otherwise, it's just words. Amen? I tease my mother every year. In January, I'll call her up and I said, "This is my annual call. I just want you to know that I love you very much." And I said, that way I don't have to tell you again for the rest of the year. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, that stands. We laugh about it, but that ain't the only time she wants to hear it for the year and year. Amen? And I get reminded of it too. But it's just a family joke between us. You see, through our obedience, the result, those Christians that we wind up being cleansed and we're being sanctified, and then through our glorified bodies, we will embrace God's everlasting presence. Why do we have to wait till then? We can have his presence now. But God's real presence, our bodies can't take it. We'll need that glorified body just to be able to stand in his presence.
Amen.
Now, having that, to be able to embrace God's everlasting presence, now that's what I call a reward. Amen? So as we live our Christian lives, let's embrace his presence. When you sit down at the table, there's nothing wrong with setting a place for Jesus. When you're sitting anywhere, just know that Jesus is right there with you. If you're trying to get by with doing something that you ain't really supposed to do, just remember Jesus is still there. Amen. There was a move years ago about what would Jesus do? And you ask yourself, should I do this or should I do that? Well, what would Jesus do? If we're mimicking our lives and following the pattern he set before us, we'd be operating in what he would do. Amen? So we have to keep that in mind. Are we the Christian we claim to be? Do we love people the way that we're supposed to? Or are we only after a ticket and we don't care about nobody else? Is that what Jesus would do? Probably not. So let's embrace his presence. Amen? There is life in Jesus.
Yes.